In this installment, we're going to be going over the NBA bets for Friday, February 21st. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to give you the winning ingredients for our Friday, February 21st NBA slate we got going on. But before we deep dive into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetShetsD. Don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91. And don't forget about that Patreon. Right now, we're at the homepage of the YouTube channel, currently at 9.28 thousand subscribers. This is the road to 10K, and we're well on our way because you guys are showing up each and every single day. If you're already subscribed, continue to like and comment. That helps the YouTube algorithm so we can grow to a much broader audience. All right, now for the Patreon here, I'll let you guys know that I've already posted the March Madness Finals and the NBA Finals. If you want those future bets, you got to click on that link provided down below. Get connected. You're getting access to daily bets, future bets, and access to that group chat that goes off 24/7. I'm so excited to announce I have partnered with BetStamp and SIGNUP Expert to provide you guys with an easier way to sign up with any sportsbook in your area. If you go to the link in the description down below, you will be directed to this page you see here. It automatically displays all available sportsbooks in your area plus their current promotions. For example, you could take the plays given in this video and apply it to any other sportsbooks you don't currently have and reap the rewards. Now let's get into the slate. In Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse here, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers 44-10 going against the New York Knicks 36-18. Looking at the current odds for this one here, we have the Cavaliers at home minus 300 with the comeback of the Knicks at a plus 240. Point spread at a 7.5. Total points at 241.5. Full game public bet percentage here, 86% of the bets, 57% of the money on the side of the Cleveland Cavaliers. No information as of right now on the point spread, but for the total points, 74% of the bets, 70% of the money towards the over 241.5. Looking at the injury report here for these two teams, we have the Knicks with a lot of major injuries. OJ Anunoby out, Josh Hart is out, Mitchell Robinson is out, and Kevin Mueller is a game time decision. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, they're mostly healthy. Dean Wade and JT Thor. Dean Wade is out, and JT Thor is a game time decision. All right now, we have both of these teams coming in on the second half of a back-to-back. The Knicks are playing the Bulls right now. They're currently up 1 point, and right now the Cleveland Cavaliers are struggling against the Brooklyn Nets in Brooklyn. They're down by 5, which is very shocking. That was a big double-digit point spread. I gave that out for the Nets to cover. So far, so good on that front here. Looking at this particular game, Cleveland Cavaliers, Knicks, this is their second time meeting up. In that first matchup, Cavaliers won outright on the money line. They covered that plus 2.5 spread. They were underdogs, and the total went under 222.5. This one, they really jumped up the total all the way to 241 points. Maybe that's most likely because of the injuries here against the Knicks. They're losing some key pieces defensively, Anunoby and Josh Hart. Definitely high value type of defensive guys. That could definitely not bode well for them against the Cleveland Cavaliers. And this spread is all the way to 7.5, moving from Cavs as underdogs to being big home favorites here at 7.5. So these injuries are major here. I like the Cleveland Cavaliers to continue their dominance against the Knicks here. They beat them the first time. I think they can beat them yet again, especially with the Knicks currently constructed with these injuries. There's a little bit of an issue with this Knicks facing top tier talent against the Celtics. They struggle, and we're going to see if it happens again against the Cavaliers. These two elite teams in the East, the Knicks have faltered every time they face them. So give me the Cavs on the money line. I would lean towards the Cavs to cover that spread of 7.5, but I'm going to post the money line here. And for the total, give me the over of 241.5. In American Airlines Center here, we have the Dallas Mavericks 30-26 going against the New Orleans Pelicans 13-42. Looking at the current odds for this matchup here, we have the Mavericks as home favorites minus 210 on the money line with the comeback of the Pelicans at a plus 170. Point spread at a 5.5. Total at 236.5. Full game public bet percentage here, 90% of the bets, 91% of the money, all over the Dallas Mavericks here. Point spread, no information as of right now, but I can probably imagine that this is going to be heavily on the side of the Dallas Mavericks here, of how poor this Pelicans team has looked. Mainly record-wise. They had a lot of injuries, but they tried to turn it around at the end of the first half, all right? We'll dig deeper on this. I'll tell you in a second. Total points, 70% of the bet, 74% of the money towards the over 236.5. For the injury report for these two teams, both of these teams are hampered, all right? Pelicans, Yves Missy is a game-time decision. Brandon Boston is out. Herbert Jones is out for the year. And DeJounte Murray is out for the year. Dallas Mavericks, Caleb Martin is out. Dwight Powell is a game-time decision. PJ Washington's a game-time decision. Anthony Davis is out until March. Daniel Gafford is out. And I believe Derek Lively is out as well. So this team here in the front court is absolutely decimated for the Dallas Mavericks. This could be a huge spot for Zion Williamson. Zion Williamson is in a premier spot going up against this very small Dallas Mavericks team here. All right, so these two teams have already played 3 times already. This is the fourth and final matchup. 2 of the games went towards Dallas. 1 game went towards New Orleans. And all these games went over. All right, so the first game, Mavericks won, covered the 13.5 in the over 222.5. Then the second game, Pelicans won, covered the 1.5, went over 222.5 again. And then for the third time, Mavericks won, Pelicans covered, but the over went over 233.5. So they keep jumping this total up to higher and higher notes here. And this is when it falls. All right, this is a great play here. Love the under 236. We have too many injuries here on both sides of the ball for you to think that there's going to be a substantial offensive output on both of these sides. They're missing a ton of guys here. I love the under in this fourth and final matchup between the Pelicans and the Mavericks. If we're looking at the last 5 games, Pelicans were playing a little bit more competitive here. Close game against Sacramento. They lost to them twice. Then finally got a big win against them, 140 to 133. Sacramento plays no defense. And they got blown up by OKC, blown up by Denver. All right, so that's why there's so much confidence here on the side of the Dallas Mavericks here. But these are really false wins. This team has been hampered, and somehow they've been getting these wins. Golden State, they beat Miami. They beat, lost to Sacramento. Beat Houston and beat Boston. So it looks great the last 4 out of 5 games, but this is a trap spot to me coming out of the All-Star break, and all the money is on the Mavericks, thinking that this is a cupcake matchup against an in-division rival here in the Pelicans. I say not. Give me the plus 5.5 with the Pelicans. I love the points here in this in-division matchup, and give me the under 236.5. In the Moody Center here, we have the San Antonio Spurs 23-29 going up against the Detroit Pistons 29-26. Looking at the current odds for this one, we have the Pistons as road favorites minus 190 on the money line going up against the San Antonio Spurs at a plus 155. Point spread at a 4.5. Total points at 232.5. Looking at the current injury report here for these two teams, starting off with the Pistons, Ron Harper Jr. game time decision, Jaden Ivey out. And for the San Antonio Spurs, big news with Victor Wembanyama. He's going to be out for the year with a blood clot in his right shoulder. Charles Bassey is out, and then Riley Minix is out for the year as well. So we get it. Big news for the Spurs. It does put a damper in their season, but they still have De'Aaron Fox and Devon Vassell and Castle and Chris Paul that can definitely be formidable here and keep this team competitive. It's not the end-all be-all here. They will be still a feisty team, and a team that you could look at and find some value on. Maybe it will be in this particular game. All right, so looking at these two teams, Pistons finished the first half of the season on fire, beating Philly, Charlotte, Chicago in back-to-back games. That's why if we're looking at the they didn't even post it yet. So no information on the public bet percentage here, but I can imagine already that it's going to be heavily on the side of the Detroit Pistons, especially how they finished, and then all the negative news coming from the San Antonio Spurs missing their leader in Victor Wembanyama here. So for the Spurs, very up and down here, only winning 2 out of their last 5 games. But they had a tough road facing Boston, Orlando, and Atlanta. in 3 of those matchups here. So for this particular game here, this is their first time meeting, all right? Not common opponents between the Pistons and Spurs. This is the East versus West Coast matchup here. I'm going to go with the value of the Spurs. This would be the second game of a back-to-back, so we're going to see how they respond in their first matchup. That's about to go off very, very soon here. We have the Spurs going up against the Phoenix Suns. All right, so they're staying home here. They're already going to get some cobwebs out the way and see what's going to work for this current unit here. I expect Castle to step up big. He's been a phenomenal rookie this year, but I definitely like the side of the Spurs in this one. All right, so give me the points with the +4.5. We're not going to get cute here with the money line. I think that this home team here as underdogs does have some fight in them. So +4.5, and for the total, I'm going to go towards the over 232.5 in this total here. Both teams have been putting up some big numbers here, especially the Detroit Pistons, the way they've been playing offensively, and it's not too far behind with the Spurs as well. In Delta Center here, we have the Utah Jazz 13-41 going up against the OKC Thunder 44-10. Looking at the current odds for this matchup here, Thunder are road favorites, huge road favorites, -1200 on the money line, with the comeback of the Jazz at a +750. Point spread at a 14.5. Total points at 236.5. Public bet percentage here, 87% of the bets on the side of OKC, but we have 78% of the money on the side of Utah. So sharps are on the side of Utah here for some odd reason. Definitely monitor that as the night goes along into the morning. For the point spread, no information as of right now. And for the total points, 70% of the bets, 83% of the money towards the over 236.5. Looking at the injury report here for these two teams, OKC Thunder, Dieng is a game-time decision. Alex Caruso is a game-time decision. Kassan Wallace is a game-time decision. AJ Mitchell is out, and then Nikola Topic is out for the year. Utah Jazz dealing with some major injuries here. Colin Sexton is out. KJ Martin is game-time decision. Walker Kessler is a game-time decision. Jordan Clarkson is a game-time decision. And Taylor Hendricks is out for the year. All right, so Sexton being hurt, obviously that hurts the Utah Jazz here, but they have been given an opportunity to Isaiah Collier. That's their rookie point guard who they've been giving a ton of minutes to. All right, so for the OKC Thunder, the last 5 games, obviously very strong finish, winning 4 of their last 5 games, coming up short against Minnesota. All right, getting blown out. So this is could be a little redemption spot, trying to start off the second half on fire. Utah Jazz have been poor, and they've been one of the worst teams in the league. With the continued rotation of guys in and out the lineup and just inconsistent basketball. This is the reason why that they're such huge favorites here in the Thunder. These two teams have already played twice this year, and both of those games have gone to the Thunder in blowout fashion. All right, so the first game was a Thunder cover, Thunder win, and the over 224.5. The second game was a Thunder win, but the Jazz covered the new number at 16.5, and it went over 233.5. So they jumped it up yet again in this third and final matchup from 233 to 236 here. So this is a really high total in this particular spot here, and the Thunder, but the point spread has been adjusted to 14.5. I like the Thunder on the money line. I like the Thunder to cover this 14.5. And for the total, I'm going to go under 236.5 in this particular spot after 2 overs. I think this one's going to be I think Jazz is going to struggle to score, period, right here with this Thunder team. And I like the under 236.5. In Golden One Center here, we have the Sacramento Kings 28-27 going against the Golden State Warriors 28-27. Looking at the current odds for this game here, Kings are home underdogs here, +105 with the Warriors as a -125 on the money line. Point spread is essentially a pick 'em. Total points at 234.5. Public bet percentage here, 73% of the bets, 85% of the money on the Warriors. For the point spread, 75% of the bets and 65% of the money on the Warriors to cover. And for the total points, 77% of the bets and 82% of the money towards the over 234.5. Looking at the injury report here for these two teams, kicking things off with the Warriors, Jonathan Kuminga is still out. He's going to be out for another week. He should be back soon, and a great addition here for this Golden State Warriors team when they have Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler, and Jonathan Kuminga. That is going to be very, very dangerous here in this Western Conference. Kings, no injuries. They just got a bunch of guys that they gathered together here. No chemistry. I don't understand what they're doing. I don't know why they I mean, I understand they wasn't going to give him a contract, but I do not like the West Coast Bulls. That's what the Sacramento Kings are right now. Looking at the last 5 games here, Kings have been beating up on a bunch of bums. They beat the New Orleans Pelicans, the worst team in the league, twice. And then Dallas Mavericks with a bunch of injuries. They only won by 1 point in that game. For the Warriors, they've had some solid wins against Chicago, blowout, Milwaukee, blowout, and a big win over Houston. This team has looked rejuvenated here with Jimmy Butler coming over. So definitely positive signs there for the Golden State Warriors. Plus, you have a double narrative here. Golden State Warriors losing the first 2 matchups here against the Sacramento Kings right now. This is the 3rd matchup between these 2 teams. First one here, Kings won. Kings covered in the over of 225. The second one was a Kings win. Warriors covered the 7.5 in the over 232. For this one, they jumped up the total to 234.5. I like the over in this one. This is how bad that the Sacramento Kings defense is. It is absolutely putrid here. And then the resurgence of the Warriors here, how everything's clicking with Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler. This is a very dangerous offense now. I like the Warriors on the money line, and give me the over 234.5. That's going to be our breakdown for the Friday slate. They have not yet uploaded the lines for the last 4 games. So when it comes to the morning time, I'm going to post my 4 leans on those particular games. Worst case scenario, you guys have to go to the description, the section down below, click on that link and get access to the Patreon if you want to find out those plays. But most likely I'm going to just give you what I'm telling you and what I'm leaning on those 4 games in the morning. All right. So guys, don't forget, make sure you click on that link right down below. You get access to daily bets, future bets, and access to that group chat that goes off 24/7. This your boy Chef D. I'll be back very soon, and peace out.